Hi, my name is Michael Hicks, and this is my oral presentation for my personal ethics philosophy paper for Aviation 472. So what is a worldview? Uh, the beliefs that people have can vary greatly from one person to the next. In short, a worldview consists of our beliefs and assumptions about how the world fits together. What one person holds as a central pillar of their beliefs, someone else could have a belief that's a polar opposite. So my worldview, from an ethical viewpoint, it's based on honor, respect, courage, empathy, and integrity. Lying, cheating, and stealing are not only poor character traits, but they're also not socially acceptable. And those who act with honor would abhor these practices. I feel that as far as respect goes, all people should be treated with respect. And courage, well, physical courage is what most people think of when they hear the term, like acts of heroism and things of the like. I'm also referring to having the courage to lead by example, admit a mistake, or accept the consequences of your actions. Courage is not always physical, but it is always important. With empathy, everybody has different experiences, and they're all fighting their own battles in one way or another. Showing empathy and an effort to understand what others are going through, it allows us to form stronger, more meaningful connections to those around us. And with integrity, without integrity, any system of beliefs can fall apart as soon as it's challenged. Integrity not only allows us to form our beliefs, but it also allows us to continue to follow them in times of adversity. So my vision and mission for my life. The vision I had for my life, it's changed greatly over the years. And for a while I couldn't understand why everything I tried to accomplish ended in failure or redirection. Throughout my life, I've tried my hand at many different things. Military service, motorcycle mechanics, and many other career paths. But every single one of them came to the same conclusion. This is not the path for me. And if I was asked what my personal vision and mission were just 1 year ago, I would have said without hesitation that it was to become a commercial pilot and find a position at the airline of my choice and fly with them until I retire. However, that's no longer my answer. I've realized that aviation is my calling, but perhaps being a pilot is not the correct path, because I have yet again found another obstacle that blocks my path. Since I began attending Liberty University, I've realized that God has a plan for us all, and He will give us direction when we need it. I feel that the obstacle that prevented me from continuing my pilot training was intended by Him to give me pause and think about my choice and my place on my current path. And that led me to change my direction to the path of aviation management. So now, my vision is to become the executive director of an airport. I'm not saying which airport, simply because I have a feeling He's going to put me where I am needed most. Now, while this goal is not attainable from the beginning of employment, it will be through time and promotion. Now, my mission to get there is to attain a managerial position at an airport or an airline by using the aviation management degree that I will receive upon completion of school. And I will use that to build experience in the aviation industry, and I will use that experience and the knowledge that I gain in the positions to assist me in earning higher management positions. And I will continue that path until I reach my current goal of executive director, or until I have found an area that I am truly content with. Now, Christian ethics in my personal life. Follow the Word of God. And following the Word of God sounds like an easy thing to do. However, that's not entirely true. Humans are fallible. We all have, and we all will sin, no matter how hard we try to avoid it. And while the moral ideals of the Ten Commandments are not unique to Christian ethics, they do provide a solid foundation to live one's life. I love my wife with everything that I have, and the commandment, "You shall not commit adultery," is not even something I think about. And it's not because I don't believe that the commandment is valid. It's more so that I don't even think about committing such a heinous act against somebody that I love so dearly. And treating everyone I encounter with love in one form or another is another way that I apply Christian ethics in my daily life. And 1 John 4:16, so we have come to know and to believe the love that God has for us. God is love, and whoever abides in love abides in God, and God abides in him. Love can have many different forms aside from physical. The love for a friend, or just simple compassion towards a stranger, they're both demonstrations of love. And when I meet people, I always try to accept them with some form of love. The commandment, "Honor thy mother and thy father." I always have, and I always will honor my parents. My mother lost her husband a few years ago. She's now living alone. Even though she lives over an hour away from me, I still try to spend time with her on a weekly basis. And unfortunately, sometimes life gets in the way, but that is unavoidable. And I do what I can to make sure I spend as much time as I can with her each week. And honesty. Honesty is a value that's important in every environment, especially in personal life. I must be honest with myself about everything. And as a result, I'm honest with those that I interact with. Honesty is not always comfortable or convenient, but being dishonest in my personal life will lead to nothing but disappointment in anything that I do. Now, applying Christian ethics in my professional life. Bluefield University stated it well. Integrity and ethics are essential to success in business. The incorporation of Christian ethics into professional roles helps you thrive as an individual, as well as helping the company project a better reputation. The golden rule: treat others as you want to be treated. That's something that everyone desires, and that desire is no different in the business world. Other businesses will not engage in dealings with a company that is dishonest in their practices. Being honest with your employees, stakeholders, potential partners, and customers, and even competitors, is something I would strive to do at every opportunity. If I am honest and open with my employees, this creates clear lines of communication that are not skewed by mistrust or misinformation, and that can lead to better informed decisions and better results. Being honest with stakeholders allows them to get a clear picture of what's going on and make better choices for the direction of the company. Hiding the truth from potential partners could result in a decision made in good faith based on the information that I've provided, only to become a disaster after they find out what the truth actually is. Being honest with your customers can do nothing but improve your reputation, and it's most likely to create a loyal customer base and help grow the business by the word of mouth of those loyal customers. If people you deal with can trust your word and believe it is truth, this is beneficial not only to the company, but your position in that company. Now, corporate greed isn't anything new to business, and while some companies are aimed only at producing a profit, nothing more, this practice is not something that should be emulated by Christian professionals. Once again, Mark said it well in chapter 8, verse 36. "For what does it profit a man to gain the whole world and forfeit his soul?" We should all be fair in business practices that we conduct, both internally and with other companies, including our competitors. For example, Curtiss-Wright and Boeing are competitors in the aviation industry, but Curtiss-Wright provides an integral part for the construction of the Boeing 787 Dreamliner. Competitors don't have to be enemies in business or in any other arena in life. Remembering that other companies are trying to do the same thing as yours should not be a cause for hatred, but collaboration, professional courtesy, and competition. Helping those who are less fortunate is something that Christians ought to do, and businesses are able to help others as well as themselves. Researching and finding a cause that is in line with your values and the company's values. You could donate time, money, products, or services to strengthen the community. This will also strengthen the company's reputation, and it can demonstrate strong corporate social responsibility, all while following the Bible's teachings of doing good works. Now, how do I make ethical decisions? As with everybody, it's different. While it would be ideal to have a single ethical system to make all decisions from, that is not always possible. I base my decisions on situational ethics initially to determine what ethical system would be the most appropriate. Now, for example, I was instructed to lie by my direct superior to make the company look better, under threat of termination if I refused to follow his direction. So, using situational ethics, I can look at different ethical systems. The Kantian or duty ethics, that would demand that I follow his orders, because it's not my duty. It is my duty to those above me. However, this would go against my personal values. Situational ethics could be used because I would need to weigh the consequences of my actions of agreeing or refusing to help. If I agree to help, I am compromising my integrity and my honor, but I'm keeping my job. If I refuse, I maintain my integrity and honor, but I will most likely lose my job. And virtue ethics can also be used because virtue ethics takes into account what is and what ought to be. The virtuous thing to do would be to refuse the demand, because while it would most likely cost me my job, I feel it would not be worth my integrity and honor. While there are ethical solutions to just about every situation, it does not mean that every ethical system is as well equipped to handle every scenario. Using different ethical systems while maintaining your core values helps to ensure that you are making the best possible decision from your viewpoint without betraying your own values in the process. Now, how can I influence ethical culture at work? The aviation industry is laden with rules and regulations with the intent on safety for all involved. In such a rule-bound environment, it could be easy to conclude that if it's not a rule, it doesn't need to be followed. This type of blind adherence to the rules can lead to poor or completely missed safety practices. Others can see that something needs to change, but do nothing because that's just how we do things here. This practice of ignoring safety concerns because they are not already officially addressed can have terrible consequences. And Dallas Willard said it quite well when he said, "Sinful practices become their habits, then their choice, and finally their character." So how can I change things? Leading by example. That can be a major influence on change in the ethical environment in the workplace. Voicing concerns, voluntarily adhering to practices that don't violate stated rules. Suggesting changes in policy that could improve efficiency or safety, or making others aware of any issues that could affect them are all ways that you could have an impact in an ethical way. And acting as an example of what should be done can serve as a beacon for others to change their ways, and it could also change their ethical views. Thank you for your time, and these were the references that I've used for my paper and the oral presentation. Once again, thank you for your time.